Yes. Now we will discuss about the middle cranial fossa. In previous lecture, you have seen the anterior cranial fossa. Today we will discuss about the middle cranial fossa. This part is middle cranial fossa. If you see the boundary of the middle cranial fossa, it is anteriorly bounded by, this is lesser wing of sphenoid, anterior clinoid process, and there is anterior margin of, this is anterior margin of sulcus chiasmaticus. This is sulcus chiasmaticus, this is anterior margin of the sulcus chiasmaticus. This is anterior boundary. Lesser wing of sphenoid, anterior clinoid process, and anterior margin of sulcus chiasmaticus. And posteriorly, here is, this is dorsum scelli. This is dorsum scelli, posterior clinoid process, and this is superior edge of petrous temporal bone. This is superior edge of the petrous temporal bone, or superior border of the petrous temporal bone. So this is anterior boundary, this is posterior boundary, this is posterior boundary. And on each side, if you see on lateral side, here, laterally, this bone is, if you may, this is sphenoid bone. So laterally, here is some part of sphenoid, and this part is parietal bone, sphenoid parietal, and here some part of this flat part is squamous. There is flat part of the squamous part of the temporal bone. So this forms the lateral margin, lateral boundary. Now floor. Floor is formed by greater wing of sphenoid, here petrous temporal bone, and this part is parietal bone. Parietal bone. So here you can see this part. This part is body of sphenoid. Here one, this is tuberculum scelli. This is tuberculum scelli, and from here on lateral side of projection from the middle, from the lateral side form the middle clinoid process. So here is anterior clinoid process, this is middle clinoid process. Sometimes this anterior and middle clinoid process join to form single process. And this is posterior clinoid process. And this is body of the sphenoid from tuberculum scelli to dorsum scelli. From tuberculum scelli to this dorsum scelli, there is hypophyseal fossa. This is hypophyseal fossa. Here pituitary gland is situated. This is known as turcicidal. This is turcicidal. This is like turcicidal. This is hypophyseal fossa. If you go lateral to this, here is superior orbital fissure. Superior orbital fissure. Here a small projection is present through which common tendinous rim of Jin is attached, and here is one opening. This is foramen. This foramen is foramen rotundum. This is foramen rotundum, and here is foramen ovale. Lateral side to this, there is foramen ovale, and lateral to this there is foramen spinosum. This is foramen spinosum. Medial to this foramen ovale, this is foramen ovale. Medial to this, sometimes small foramen are present. These are sphenoidal emissary foramina vitellius. Sphenoidal emissary foramina vitellius. And laterally, sometimes between foramen spinosum and foramen ovale, sometimes some foramen is present. These are known as innominate foramen. These are innominate foramen. These are sphenoidal emissary foramen. Through this emissary vein passes, and if this foramen is present, then some fibers of lesser petrosal nerve passes through this. So from here, this is superior aortic fissure, foramen rotundum. This foramen rotundum, it leads anteriorly into the pterygopalatine fossa. Through this, maxillary nerve passes. This is foramen ovale. It leads to the infratemporal fossa, and through this mandibular nerve, accessory meningeal artery, lesser petrosal nerve, and emissary vein passes. And here, through this sphenoidal emissary foramen, emissary vein passes, and through foramen spinosum, middle meningeal artery passes. So these are foramina, and one foramen lies here. This is foramen lacerum. So this part is this foramen is foramen lacerum. So here one foramen is present. This is foramen lacerum. If you cut a section here, you can see this is this pectus temporal bone, apex of the pectus temporal bone. This is parasagittal section, and here this is foramen lacerum. This is anterior wall of the foramen lacerum. This is anterior wall of the foramen lacerum. In anterior wall of the foramen lacerum, there is a canal. This is pterygoid canal. This is pterygoid canal. And this is pterygoid process. Pterygoid process. And here is pterygoid canal. And in this part, this pectus temporal bone, here is canal is present. This is carotid canal. It passes like this, and carotid internal carotid artery passes through this. So this is carotid canal through which it passes. This is internal carotid artery. This is internal carotid artery passes through this. So you can see this is position of the foramen lacerum. In upper part it passes and goes like this. And here cartilage is present. This is cartilage. Through this foramen lacerum is closed, and through this cartilage, one structure, that is emissary vein. Emissary vein passes from here. This is pterygoid venous plexus from here. Emissary vein passes, and here is position of the cavernous sinus. Go into the cavernous sinus. This is dural venous sinus, so it communicates with the cavernous sinus. And another important thing, through this pterygoid canal, one branch of the facial nerve passes. That branch is greater petrosal nerve. This is greater petrosal nerve passes through this. This is greater petrosal nerve. greater petrosal nerve, and one another nerve which form here plexus. This is sympathetic nerve which form plexus around the internal coronary artery. From here one branch arises. This branch passes through this foramen. This is deep petrosal nerve. So this is deep petrosal nerve. So greater petrosal nerve and deep petrosal nerve join to form here nerve to pterygoid canal. So these two nerves join to form nerve to pterygoid canal. Nerve to pterygoid canal. So here this is foramen lacerum. This is foramen lacerum. And the important thing here, this is pectus temporal bone. In this pectus temporal bone, you can see some impressions. Here is one impression is present. This is known as trigeminal impression. Here is one impression. This is trigeminal impression. Here trigeminal ganglion is present, and a trigeminal cave is formed here. So this is trigeminal impression. And the important thing here is foramen. This is hiatus and groove for the greater petrosal nerve. So it is hiatus and groove for the greater petrosal nerve. This is hiatus, and this is hiatus. This is opening in hiatus, and this is groove. This is opening and hiatus for the greater petrosal nerve. So this is greater petrosal nerve, which is a branch of the facial nerve. It passes through this, and here goes into the foramen lacerum, and it passes through the anterior wall of the foramen lacerum and joins the deep petrosal nerve from the nerve to pterygoid canal. So this nerve is greater petrosal nerve, and this opening is hiatus, and from here to here there is a groove in the bone. This is groove for the greater petrosal nerve. And under lateral to this there is another opening. This is hiatus and groove for the lesser petrosal nerve. Lesser petrosal nerve, hiatus and groove for lesser petrosal nerve. Lesser petrosal nerve here arises from the tympanic plexus and carries fibers from the ninth cranial nerve. So from here it goes through foramen ovale. So this is hiatus and groove for the lesser petrosal nerve, and it leads towards the foramen ovale. And as you know, through foramen ovale, mandibular nerve, accessory meningeal artery, lesser petrosal nerve, and emissory vein passes. So this is lesser petrosal nerve which passes through this and goes to the infratemporal fossa, and in intratemporal fossa it gives supply to parotid gland. So this is lesser petrosal nerve, hiatus and groove for the lesser petrosal nerve. And later to this there is arcuate eminence. Arcuate eminence is for the superior semicircular canal. And if you see on the back side here, this part we discussed in posterior cranial fossa. So this is all about the middle cranial fossa. Thank you.